Hey there, this is Chad from Zombie Fight Shark. Welcome to episode 3 of our Grain Complete walkthrough series. We're just going to talk about this LFO section in this episode, which is identical to Europa's LFO section, but I want to make sure we cover it because this is a complete walkthrough, not a most of the way walkthrough. You know how I do. So, LFO 1, 2, 3. Right? Cool. All right. Now, this is your selector. Boom. Look, we got all these LFO choices. All right. Awesome. All right. Now, what is this? What is we got here? Okay. Hertz amount. So each of your different LFOs can have a different speed, which you are going to want to use at some point. And they can each have a different shape. All right. All right. You with me? You with me so far? So LFO shape here, select it there. LFO speed here, right? Delay, what does that mean? It means how long from when I hit the note before the LFO applies. Now you'll notice, and I'm just using the oscillator here, but you'll notice that nothing happened. Like they're not doing anything, right? We got no action. Nada. Yet. Alright? So how do we make it do something? That's where all this awesome, your little matrix router here comes in. This isn't the only way that you can get it to apply to stuff, but that's what we're going to focus on. So just so we can hear the actual LFOs. These are all kind of standard shapes of LFO. And I don't think I need to go through and explain what each one of them, does. I mean, the shape kind of self-explanatory. So I'm not going to bore you with that, but I am going to do a demonstration. So if that demonstration is boring to you, then I'm sorry. And one of the easiest demonstrations to hear is filter frequency. So we are routing this oscillator, and we want some harmonics to here. We got our ladder 24 decibel. All right, and then we're going to turn this envelope up so we get plenty of envelope effect. Why not turn the velocity up? And it's just sweeping back and forth. So that's LFO1 going to filter frequency here, sweeping it back and forth. You can't see it, but it's sweeping it back and forth. You just have to take my word for it. Actually, you don't have to take my word for it. Hang on. I have routed my LFO out of CVOut1 right here. Or manually routed it. So CVOut1 to CVN1. And it's set to bipolar mode, which means it sweeps up and down, not just up. And then after I routed it, then I did LFO. So I had to direct what I'm routing, LFO1 to CV1 out. And then I took in and I just dropped this in a combinator because if you do this kind of routing in a combinator, then it will show you what's happening to the device. It actually moves the device. So CV1N to filter frequency, and now, and before, it sounded different before because it was unipolar. It wasn't bipolar, so it was only sweeping. So that's what it does. Now you can see it. Ta-da! All right, so now I've switched it back. Now we're going to add delay to the LFO, and you'll hear it hangs for a second before that kicks in. You hear that? So you get the actual note for a second, and then the LFO starts working. All right, beat sync. We talked about this in the last episode, what beat sync does, but let's do it again. We'll turn the delay off, and it's just going to be in time with the musics. All So yeah, there it goes. So beat sync still does the same thing. Key sync. So key sync, restart the LFO every time you hit a button. So let's see if we do. Verse off. So if I want to have the same, if I've applied the LFO in a way that's an actual musical effect and I want it to have the same effect every time, then I need to have key sync on. If it's a non-musical effect or it doesn't matter, then you don't have to have key sync on. Global, it's like an umbrella, so it makes the LFO affect everything simultaneously. I think that, so you can hear the envelope, it's out of sync. Then when I do global, it's all in sync. So hopefully that helps. So that is how the LFO works. The key to using it, like we saw, is the matrix here, your modulation matrix, and the routing of it, because it doesn't do anything until you've actually routed it somewhere. The grain is not like previous synthesizers in that there are several places to mess with the LFO. Apply it here, don't apply it here. It's not like Europa where there's a bunch of drop downs where you can or can't apply it. It's mostly going to be controlled through your modulation matrix in this one. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next episode, we will talk about the modulation matrix more. So if that watching that little sample made you thirsty, then go to the next episode and we'll discuss it. So thanks for your eyes and ears on this. See you next time. Cheers.